Good morning. It's a very gray morning here, but it's quiet and the snow is white. It's beautiful. Today I want to speak about the stories in our heads. This whole world operates from the stories. And the stories began when we were born. And they continue until the day we die. These stories are both positive and negative. They hold our experiences and the way we think. The way we think creates the way we act. So the thing that I would want you to know today is that story you have in your head about yourself, it isn't a true story. It isn't even factual. There's been embellishments and omittances, things that have been added to your story and things that have been taken away to create some version that you can live with, or that makes you the hero, or that makes other people villains. We are all adding to and taking away from our stories every day. And after a while, we believe what we say about ourselves and about other people. The story that we have of other people, it's also an embellishment and an omittance. That means we embellish what we think of other people, what we say about other people. We may put a little bit of a victim slant on the way we talk about other people without really knowing that person. And we omit certain things in the story that would help us to understand that person or help others to understand that person. So why do we do this? We do this because that being in our head is wholly negative and wants to build us up while tearing others down. If we're built up, our ego inflates and we feel better about ourselves. If we can find others who are worse than us, then our ego feels better. But if other people feel that we're worse than they are, then our ego diminishes and their ego inflates. So this whole world is nothing but a war of egos. And it's all built on opinion. It's built on opinions that are old even. They're not even true factual opinions. They're just, they're not factual facts. All they are opinions of a story that happened long, long ago. So the bad news about all of this is that you are living in a fantasy world based on your thoughts. So you don't actually see the real world. You don't actually see the people around you, even the people you love the most. You have painted them with your embellishments and your omittances, and so you never get to actually see the real person. You only see your opinion of that person. So that's the bad news. The good news is that those thoughts in our head, those embellishments and omittances, aren't who we are. They don't represent our true self. They don't even come close to our true self. One of the great things about being a medium is I get an opportunity to see the real person. So when I interact with people, I don't see their ego and their stories. I can listen to their stories and watch all of that. And even I have compassion for people's stories. If you don't have enough awareness, your stories are who you are. And the stories in your head about others are who they are. And if you can't see any differently, that's your world, and it's a very difficult world. It's a conflicted world. It's a world of war, warring with other people, warring with yourself. And it's not happiness, it's not peace, it's not anything. It's just a war. And so I have a lot of compassion for people who are stuck in a war with themselves and with other people, believing all those thoughts in their head and believing the descriptions of self. I have a lot of compassion for people who don't have the awareness to see that all those thoughts are just habits running through your brain, pathways in the brain that have been run over so many times that it's almost automatic now. Automatic knee-jerk reactions, anger that comes up for no reason, because these are the things you believe about yourself. So if somebody challenges your beliefs or does something against what you believe about yourself, you immediately have this reaction that takes over. Rage and indignation, victimization, all these things. So the good news is these thoughts in our head are not us. That's not who we are. We are so much more than the words in our head and the words we use to talk about ourselves and the words that we use to talk about other people. All of us are so much more than what words could say. All of us. Each of us and all of us. So the next time you go on a tirade about the person you live next door to, or your coworker at work, or your husband or wife, stop and think about this message. This is a very specific message for everyone, is that what you are thinking about, even whatever has triggered your rage and indignation, is not that other person. It's something that's coming from inside of you. It's an old story and script, and something that other person said just triggered it, just challenged that old story and script, and you reacted. You've reacted. But it's not their fault. It's something inside of you that you haven't looked at, acknowledged. The good news is anything you can think about yourself or other people is not who you are or they are. We are all a universal consciousness interacting with itself here on earth. That's what we are. And when you come to realize that, nothing or no one can really trigger you. You realize the stories aren't true, they're not real, and therefore the self that you feel is being attacked is not a true self. That's not the true self. You are so much more than what you think, and so is everyone else you think about. So much more. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.